what the retreat will be focusing on is nervous system regulation, but from a little bit more of an energetic frequency perspective. So you all are pretty familiar with how I work. And regardless of whether you have any comprehension of what's going on, I think that you'll all acknowledge that you feel better. You feel better when we do this work. So you're coming in with an open mind, and I know you will, because you're all amazing people. And honestly, I'm so honored to be in this space with you all, because you've all come to me in weird and wonderful ways that I know that you're my people, and I know I have a deep understanding of what is actually being called on and called for in this retreat. I have a really deep understanding of what we need to do, and whether you have that understanding is sort of irrelevant. It doesn't matter, because I will be able to hold the space for that to happen. It's an energetic recalibration that we need to ground in, and I'll be able to sort of open the door to have you walk through that pretty seamlessly. However, to do so, you are going to need to do a little bit of homework, because anytime we do an upshift in terms of you are perceiving the world differently, you are recalibrating your nervous system, however you want to look at it, there's a little bit of a wobble when it first happens, like it's a bit unfamiliar. So you'll fall back into old patterns, come back to the new, back to the old, back and forward for a little while. So you can land solidly in this new version of reality that we are going to essentially open the door to over this weekend. You have to raise your vibration. You have to recalibrate yourself enough to be able to hold it once you actually are through it, to stay there. And to do that, there's a few things you can do. If you don't like all my woo-woo stuff, then I would encourage you to do progressive muscle relaxation each night. And that's enough. And all that looks like is you're going through your body. So just before you're going to sleep, you're going through your body, you're clenching your toes just for 3 seconds, and then you're relaxing them. You clench your calf muscles, your ankles, your thighs, and relaxing them. So you essentially, your stomach, and relaxing. So you're essentially just working up your body. Don't forget your hands. You work right up your body to your face and the space between your eyebrows. As the last point, your jaw, don't forget that, everywhere. And what you do is you just systematically work through holding for 3 seconds and relaxing it. Move up. Holding 3 seconds and relaxing it. Move up. Hold for 3 seconds and relax it. So what that's doing is just getting you back in touch with that felt sense, with your body, with recalibrating to a sense of ease or surrender, which is that sensation when you relax, you'll realize how much you were holding and you didn't realize you were holding on when you do that activity. That will work. That's fine. If you want to do that, I'm big tick, gold star for you. If you like the more woo-woo stuff with the visualizations, and that really works for you, the higher self visualization is fantastic. And so all that is a visualization that is based on you opening an energetic portal to a version of you existing somewhere in the multiverse that is free of all your negative patterns, all your limiting beliefs, anything that holds you back. It's a version of you that's free of all the conditioning that you've ever had. And the more you can calibrate to the frequency of this other you existing out there somewhere in another dimension, the easier it is for you to step through into actually existing from that place. And that's how we shape our reality, in that our thoughts, we understand our thoughts create reality. And this is not a woo-woo perspective. This is, you would have a very pragmatic, practical experience of how our thoughts shape reality. You talk to your friends and you might be baffled at how they could perceive an event the way they do, because they've seen it through their lens. You know, somebody doesn't smile at them and they're immediately sent spiraling, and you're just thinking, well, they probably didn't see you, you know? So this is how obvious it is that our thoughts shape reality. But to go deeper than that, we are looking at how our thoughts then become embodied in our actual cellular memory. And so we don't even realize we're so enmeshed with those thoughts that are creating our reality every moment. We don't even realize. And so this is where the higher self activity, it's like a shortcut to be able to strip back all those core beliefs and all those limiting beliefs and all that conditioning that you don't even know you're holding. It's just so ingrained in you. So we need to be able to rise above all of that because it's heavy, it's dense, it's old, it's not even your stuff, it's just stuff that you've taken on that's your parents or the school system, whatever. You're holding it and you don't need to be, you don't even know you're holding it. So this is where when we go into that version of that higher self, it's a version of you that was never restricted by all that stuff. And we dance between us in as we are now and in where we're going until we can hold strong enough in that new pattern and that new place. And so you might already know how to do that activity. And so if you don't, I'll quickly walk you through it. It is finding, you can start with all the places that you feel limited and all those places that you feel suffering, you feel pain, you feel those core beliefs in your body. Perhaps your stomach feels very braced. Perhaps you feel a lot of rigidity through your body. So there are your core beliefs that you're currently holding that are restricting you. I want you to find a place that feels completely vast, open, and doesn't buy into any of your stuff, doesn't buy into the stories about you being not enough, or if it's a felt sense of anxiety that you're suffering with, somewhere that feels actually really quite fine right now. The bottom of your feet are a great place to check. They're usually really quite grounded part of your body that's fine right now, just fine. Your kneecaps, your earlobe, the tip of your nose, your shoulder, you're just looking for somewhere that feels right now in this moment, it just feels okay. It doesn't have to be a great grandiose energy of I'm wonderful and I'm empowered. It's just simply in this present moment, I feel pretty comfortable. So just do a scan of your body, and it can be the tiniest place. It can be your nail of your pinky toe, just finding somewhere. And when you've found somewhere that feels totally at ease in this present moment, I want you to make another version of yourself. So a whole nother you out of purely that energy of wherever you found that feels good right now. And when you've made another you, I want you to just observe and watch how this other you moves, how they interact, how they go about their day, how they speak to people, how they react to situations, how they do their groceries. You're just noticing anything there is to notice about this other version that moves with ease through the world, perhaps holds themselves a little differently. They might be very practical, really down to earth and really straight shooting, really authentic. They might be free flowing and easy. They can be anything. Nothing's wrong. You might be surprised in that you might have expected them to be more gentle when you find they're actually really quite blunt and really straightforward. There's no wrong, but this is essentially your authentic nature or the authentic you. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move towards this version, but we've got all our blocks and all our conditioning and all the things that on a cellular level we hold on to as to why we can't embody that version. Perhaps you were taught authenticity was rude. Or perhaps you were taught that free-flowing, spontaneous laughter and joy was silly or flippant. So you were conditioned to be more serious. I don't know what you'll find, but that's going to be your journey. That other you is a frequency. So it vibrates on a different energetic layer to where you're currently at. But it could be like babushka dolls in that it's still in you. It's not outside of you. It's just that there's a bunch of other stuff blocking you from completely embodying that particular frequency. So what we're going to do over the next little while is, over the next, how long have we got? 18 days or so, is touching that frequency so you can start to shed some of these outer layers, just a few of them, so you get the feel of it, because it can actually be quite anxiety producing as you shed those layers. It's not all rainbows and magic. It actually is really uncomfortable, and you might feel like you're dying at a lot of points through this process, to the point where you'll feel like you want to go and get your will sorted out. You'll be so sure you're going to die. That's really normal. I want you to just get familiar with that. So when you come on this retreat, essentially what I'm going to be doing is opening a door for you to just go straight through and short circuit all those other layers. You'll just be able to move through it. But if you haven't practiced what it feels like to be able to calibrate with precision to that center point, you'll wobble. It'll just be more uncomfortable. It'll just be harder, and you'll be able to do it there, but the bounce back after the retreat, you'll crash. You'll crash harder than if you can do the groundwork now to be able to hold it. Because like anything, if you're going to go, if you say we're down here and we're going to sort of practice functioning up here, the seesaw is going to be bigger than if you spend a little bit of time beforehand closing the gap between those two. And that is how you close the gap. You calibrate yourself in advance to be able to hold that frequency that we're going to be working with. So progressive muscle relaxation, if you're not good at visualization or you don't know what I'm talking about, and the higher self visualization, to be touching that other version of you. The last one that only a few of you have practiced, and it works for a few of you, so maybe only do this one if you know what I'm talking about, is that inverted self one. So that's the mirror self. So dropping into that inverted, so that sense of freedom, that sense of expansiveness when you invert into that mirror image. So just do that one if you've practiced it and you get a lot of relief out of that. Keep doing that each day. And if you want to, you can do all of them. And that would be great too. All right. Well, reach out. You know where to find me if you have any questions. And if you are concerned about perhaps any blockages or anything, and you're not sure how to work with them, reach out prior to the retreat so we can work directly with that particular block, so you can come with a pretty clear slate, or what it feels to be a pretty clear slate. All right, take care.